Hello, Radical Panda here. Do you realise how much the loot stashed in your station inventory could be worth on the player market? I've made over 100 million Alpha UEC since I started trading a few weeks ago, all without moving a single SCU of cargo. In this video, I'll show you how to find real buyers, price rare gear, and make serious profit from the Star Citizen player-to-player economy. I'll also show you the real footage of my trades, the good, the bad, and the ridiculously lucrative. So if you're a new player looking to make your first million credit deal, or an experienced hand sitting on a hoard of treasure, let's dive in. Most people think of trading in Star Citizen as running cargo boxes back and forth. With the real market, that's player to player. Every rare helmet, weapon, or mission reward has real value, and the market decides that value. When you trade directly with players, you set the price and you keep the profit. UEXCorp.space is the tool to find your deals. So let's dive in and take a look at how the website works in detail. Okay guys, so we're going to take a walk through the UEX interface. Think of this as the database of the Star Citizen economy basically. There's lots of tabs here, mining and trade tabs, which are all super useful, but when we're trading rare gear, what we're going to be focused in on is the marketplace tab. First thing you do need to do is make sure you've got a profile set up, log in and register a profile, and make sure your in-game RSI handle is in correctly so people can find you once you start making deals. And then we're going to move over to the marketplace tab. So here you can see all of the listings that are on the database currently, and you can see there are a hell of a lot of them, so this can be quite intimidating. You need to simplify things down. Now the want to sell tab is an interesting option, but if for example we search for some ASD Geist armors, what you can see here is that there's a lot of variance between prices from 2 to 8 million. There's a lot of different opinions from sellers on how much a thing is worth. But if we jump to the want to buy tab, what you see is that variance, it drops quite a lot. We've got 2 to 4 million variance here on that same piece of equipment. And this for me seems to be a much more reliable location for intel on how much something's really worth to players and what people are willing to buy. So I generally tend to go off this data as opposed to the want to sell tab. Generally speaking, the harder something is to find, the more it's worth. That scarcity equals profit. So once you've got to grips with this database, what we need to start trying to do is zero in on a deal on an item that we either have or one that we know how to get. So for example, I've got a set of Pyrotechnic Orzhov armor, and so here we can see there's a player here with a want to buy listing offering to pay 5 million Alpha UEC for the item. Now in this case, what you can do, you've got two options. You can start a deal straight off the want to buy tab, contact the player and attempt to set up a deal and meet them in the game to transfer the item. However, unfortunately in this case the guy hasn't got back to me, so when that happens, what we can do is instead choose to advertise. So we can get started, agree to the terms of service, and then we can set up our own listing to sell the item to the market. Obviously this would be an armor, it would be full set and so on. Set your price, and also absolutely make sure to include a thumbnail from the game of the item to prove to the potential buyer that you really do have it and that you're not trying to scam anybody. And then the finished product looks something like this. So here's what's moving fast right now. Pure Karenite is easily one of the most expensive commodities in the game right now. It's so difficult to obtain, having to run the full Hathor loop, very PvP heavy. That scarcity really drives the price up. So a single gem can go for 15 to 20 million Alpha UEC. And obviously if you can get your hands on this stuff, then you're going to be rolling in the Alpha UEC. I find that you can usually always sell a railgun. People are usually always looking for these. Anything from 250k to 500k is a regular sell price. Wikleo items such as the Wikleo armor are normally fairly well in demand. Obviously these things take a long time to acquire, there's a lot of grinding to get all the components for these. You can get the components from the marketplace, but that's going to eat into your profit margins. As you'll see a little later in the video, I had good success selling some Cobalt Crush armor. This is going 25, 30, 35 million, generally speaking. There's two want to buy offers there, 25, 35 million straight away. The new Palatino armor is very popular right now, so if you can get yourself down to a distribution centre and find some of that, then you're in to make some decent money. 350 million for the black set. I mean, the loot boxes are bugged at the moment, so that's driving the prices to crazy levels. If you can get your hands on rare ship components, they can also sell extremely well. The FR86 is only found as a random loot drop in the executive hangars and is very difficult to acquire, so this is going for at least 15 million usually. 15 to 20 million you can expect to get for one of these. Also things like NDB 28 repeaters usually are pretty keen, people are pretty keen to get their hands on these. Obviously more common, so less profitable in this case, but you can get your hands on a good number of these. And as well, the Ardor 2 and 3 salvage repeaters are also really popular. Just a quick aside on ship components, Grizzly Pig has a great video which I'll link in the video description and on this card to show you where to find everything. I managed to get my hands on one of these while I was out looking for a different armour set at Cutter's Rig on Hurston. And these going for 15 to 20 million each, just for the one helmet. That's obviously a really nice find if you manage to get your hands on one. So let's take this from theory to practice. Here I am selling my Cobalt Crush armour for 45 million Alpha UEC. Then here's my gold survivalist heavy helmet, which I found at Cutter's Rig on Hurston. And the guy in the lovely Palatino armour that came to buy it from me. From finding this helmet to making the deal on UEX and this trade right here that you're seeing was around about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So this was super good return on time investment. And you can see the lovely 25 million credits going into my bank account. And then we give the guy his lovely helmet. This potentially was a really bad deal for me. I could have sold it for a lot more. I've seen them going for up to 50 million. So this could have been a big loss for me really. But I found the helmet in such a short space of time and made so much money quickly that I really didn't care at the time. So rule number 1, always confirm payment before transfer. Reputation is everything in player trading. The buyer pays up front, always, don't get scammed. Set up a container in your hangar, wear and equip the item so it's not in a backpack or suit storage. Players can kill you in your hangar and loot gear off you, so be very careful. When you've got large unequipable items, take a screenshot of it on your cargo elevator, send it back down so it's safe. Once the player pays, bring it back up on your cargo elevator in your hangar and then let them use the cargo terminal to send it back down straight from your hangar. This transfers it to their local inventory. That's the safest way to carry out the trades. Player trading is the heart of the Star Citizen economy. The rare item market is only getting bigger as the game expands. Eventually this type of deal should be built into the auction house or similar in-game system. Use UEXCorp.space as your intelligence tool, keep track of scarcity and build your reputation as a trusted trader. This doesn't replace the other money-making loops like mining, bounty hunting, or cargo hauling, but it does highlight a way to make your creds from less obvious game loops like FPS missions and executive hankers. If you found this guide helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your best trade story in the comments. I might feature it in the next episode. Until next time, fly safe, trade smart, and stay radical. Radical Panda, out.